What's going on, Remedy MP? Your question kind of inspired me to do this video, and the question was referring to the whole idea of, can a blue-collar man form a meaningful relationship with a white-collar woman? From my point of view, yes, completely. Obviously, it depends on certain things, but that's for all relationships. You know how it is. Two white-collar people don't necessarily mean things are going to work out. Two blue-collar people don't, mean that things are going to work out. Certain things have to be in play. Now, financially, things have to work out. And the biggest perception is that because you're white-collar, you make more money than somebody who's blue-collar, just because your position may have more prestige, because you wear a suit and tie, you work in an office, right? But it's not so, all the time. What pisses me off is America has a stereotype that because you're white collar, you're balling. The way the perception is, you're white collar and you're off in corporate America making $100K. But in reality, most white collar people are probably anywhere between 40 and 80. Okay, and they're trying to be part of that, elite few that make it to those 100K plus jobs, right? They're all trying to climb over each other. Seen it happen, and I'm still seeing it happen. The myth that because you're white collar, you're making big bucks. No, there's a lot of people who are stuck making 60K, right? And there's really no room for mobility, but they're white collar. And on the flip side, you got blue collar people, okay, who are making 70, 80, getting overtime, working 7 days a week. Okay, or maybe even, working on the side at home. If you're a mechanic, I have a friend, an old school friend, has his 9 to 5, mad overtime, works 7 days a week. He even does stuff out of his own garage on the side. So whether it's friends or family or somebody, bring by your whip, get the part and I'll put it in for $100. So he's doing that on the side. Okay, he can easily make $500 on a Sunday chilling. That's an extra 2 G's a month, an extra $24,000. That's not even part of his major hustle. And there's blue collar men like that, making more money than some white collar positions. So from a financial standpoint, it can still work. If a chick is on some, I'm white collar, but I still want a dude who's making a certain type of money, well, sweetie, guess what? You can still find that in somebody who's blue collar. Yeah, he may not be wearing a suit, right? But when you look at his account, and what he's able to do with his money, best believe he's on par with certain men who are white collar. Now, I'm not trying to say that on average, white collar doesn't pay more. Okay, no one is saying that, but you still have to take it by a case-by-case scenario. And you can't assume that just because that person is white collar, he's making more, because it's still an average. And as we all know, some people may be above average, some people may be at average, some people may be far below average. And the second area that I wanted to touch on is who you are as a person outside of your profession. See, we have a bad habit at looking at what somebody does and taking that and assuming things that are non-work related. You know what I mean? Like, it happens with athletes all the time, right? Okay? Because they're athletes, we expect them to be a certain way off the court. Okay, so we make all these assumptions and generalizations about who people should be. Especially in the black community, we have a bad habit. That's why everybody's running around, especially when we make it, on some, this is what I do, this is what I wear in school, here's my business card, and everybody's on some, because this is what I do, you should award me points here. Okay, or I think that you're this way, but in reality I have no idea. Right? Apart from your 9 to 5, that's great that you work for a company X or you do X, Y, and Z, but that's only a fraction of who you are. So in terms of compatibility, in terms of non-work related issues and financial related issues, there's still room for connection. Okay? Maybe we like the same music, maybe we have the same ideals, maybe we have the same religious views, maybe we have the same views on how to raise a family. Okay, maybe we have the same political affiliation. Those are all the things that can still happen regardless of your white collar or blue collar. So there's definitely room for connection on that level. But like I said, it's real unfortunate because a lot of women have this hang up that because somebody has a white collar job or that they're white collar, it means so much about them outside of the workplace, which is not true. Okay, you still have to understand people at a complete level. You know, like I said before, that's one of the reasons why I don't come on YouTube and try to flex my degrees or what I do for a living, because we're not talking about anything in terms of public education, right? That's another fraction of who I am. But outside of that, I'm not concerned with it. Right, so that's why I always say there's a beauty in YouTube, or at least on my channel, because you can come to my channel, be blue collar or white collar, but that doesn't matter because we're not talking about professions. You know, we're talking about non-work related stuff. So anyways, that's my video. Hopefully it answers your question, and I know other people, you know, have that same sort of question. Can it work? Of course it can work. Okay. But in the same way it may not work is the same way it may not work for two people who are white collar, okay, or two people that are blue collar, because you got to first of all look at the whole financial situation and really look at how much somebody is making as opposed to going off of the average, and you got to look at who these people are outside of a work profession sort of setting. Okay, and you can't assume that somebody is going to be a certain way outside of the workplace just because of what they do for their 9 to 5, because it really doesn't make any sense if you really think about it. So anyways, that's my video. Y'all take it easy. God bless.